Hey there lovely viewers, how are you guys? My name is Akash Dev and today is hashtag day 21 of my 30 days of talking to camera challenge. Day 21 of hashtag 30 days of talking to camera challenge, and the date today is 12th of August 2023 and the day is Saturday. So in the previous video I talked about heap, how we can create heap, what is heap, what is the use cases of heap, some operations like how we can swap the leaf node from its parent node, that is a child node from its parent node, may prolocate up or prolocate down method, and some many more functions. Now in today's video we would understand heapify. What is heapify? So heapify is basically creating heap through an array. Heapify is a method which maintains the heap property in from an array. So previously when we are creating the heap, the time complexity which we required to create a heap was big of n log n. N log n means log n is the height of the tree. Suppose there are n elements, so the height of the heap would be log n. And because I have already mentioned that heap is a complete binary tree, and in complete binary tree the height is log n base 2. So log n, and what is n? Since we have to insert each element one by one, so that for that we have to traverse through whole array, so it would take n time complexity, so n log n. Now let's move up to heapify. So what to understand what exactly heapify is and how heapify works. Heapify basically is a process of converting an array into heap. The various steps that heapify includes are: first, we need to take an array in which all the values are present. Starting from the middle of the array, move downwards to a start of the array. At each step, compare parent value with its left child and right child. In addition, restore the heap property by shifting the parent value with its largest value child, such that the parent value will always be greater than or equal to left child and the right child. For elements from middle of the array to the start of the array, we make comparisons and shift until we reach the leaf node of the heap. So what we are trying to do here is, suppose this is a node and I have one node above it and one node below it. So if the node below it is bigger than its parent node, suppose I have to create a max heap and the child node is bigger than its parent node, then it would be swapped. And if again the child node is bigger than its parent node, then it would again be swapped. So this is how heapify works. Now let's see some of its definition. I would first read the definition and then I will explain each point one by one. So given an array as an input, to create heap function, value of index I is compared with its children, that is the value of children is 2i plus 1 and 2i plus 2. As I have already discussed in my previous video that 2i plus 1 is the left child and 2i plus 2 is the right child. Now it would compare with both of its children. Suppose the parent node value is at index 3. Now it would be compared to its left child and its right child. So the left child would be 2i plus 1, that is 3 2 is 6 plus 1 7. So it would be compared with the value node at 7th value, and if the 7th value is greater, then it would be swapped, or else it would remain as it is. Let me take an example, and it would be better if you understand from the example. So suppose you are given an array with elements from 1 to 8, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So how would be the heap looking? How the heap would be looking? 1, then 2, 3, then 4 5, then 6 7, then 8. So here we know that 8 is bigger than 4, but 8 is below 4. Now 4 and 5 is bigger than 2, but 4 and 5 are below 2. So this is a mean heap, because we were given an array in sorted order and we have to rearrange the heap property, that is we need to have a max heap, that is the biggest element would be at the top, that is 1 would be at the top, and at the lowest point there would 8 would be at the top, and at the lowest point there would be 1. So as I have already discussed that the third element would be 4, and since 8 is at the last, so 4 would be compared to 8 and it would be swapped. So now what how my heap would look like? 1 2 3, previously here was 4 5 6 7 8, now 4 is swapped to 8, so 8 5 6 7 and 4. So the resulting heap would look like 1 2 3 8 5 6 7 4. So please draw it as I am speaking, so that you can have a proper understanding, because here I am not able to show you the exact figure. I can just help you like visualize the things with my hands. So yeah, let's move forward. Now in the next step we would repeat the same process. Similarly, the value of index 2 is compared with index 5 and 6. The largest of all values is 7 would be swapped and with the value of the index. So now which is the largest element at the like lowest point, at the leaf point. So at the leaf point, what are the leaves that we had? 4 5 6 and 7, and which is the largest? Previously the largest was 8, and now 8 is swapped with 4. Now which is the largest? The largest is 7, and 7 is bigger than 3, so now 7 would be swapped with 3. Now what would be the output that we would get? 1 2, previously here was 3, 1 2 3. Now since 7 is swapped with 3, then 1 2 3 8 5 6, 3 and 4. 8, 5, 6, 3 because 3 is swapped with 7 and 4 is swapped with 8, so 8, 5, 6, 3 and at the end 4. Now we would again check all the leaves. Since all the swapping with the leaves are done, then we would move one step above it. The value of index 1 is compared with index 3 and 4. The largest of all values is 8, which would be swapped with the value at the index 1. So now the leaf node and all the values, the comparisons with leaf is done. Now we have 8 and 7, like the node above it is 8 and 7. So 1, 2, 7, 8, 5, 6, 3, 4. So 4, 5, 6 and 3 are done. Now we have 8 and 7. So which is the largest amongst 8 and 7? We know that 8 is the largest. So the parent node of 8 is 2, 1, 2, 7, 8, 5, 6, 3, 4. So 8 would be swapped with 4. Now what will be the remaining heap that I would get? 1, 8, 7, 2, 5, 6, 3, 4. Now 8 and 7 are both at the same level. So which is the largest amongst 8 and 7? Now since 8 is swapped with 2, what is the remaining heap that I am getting? 1, 8, 7, 2, 5, 6, 3 and 4. Now again we would see that 2 is smaller than 4 and 4 is bigger than 2 and 4 is at the lower point. So now we would prolocate down function. We would use prolocate down function to move to downwards. That is to bring 2 to the leaf node and 4 to above it. Now if I swap 2 with 4, what would be the remaining heap that I would get? 1, 8, 7, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 2. So here what are the parent nodes? 1 is the parent node, but 1 is smaller and we haven't reached 1 yet. So keep it as it is till now. And what are the other parents nodes that is at the level below 1? That is 8 and 7. Now which is the bigger? 8 is the bigger, and 8 is bigger and 7 is also bigger. Now which are the children nodes of 8 and 7? The children nodes of 8 are 4 and 5. I know 4 and 5 are smaller than it, so it is maintaining the heap property. What are the children nodes of 7? The children nodes of 7 are 6 and 3. So I know it is also maintaining the heap property since the parent value is bigger than the value of its child. Now what's the other child of 8? The other child of 4, the other child of 4 is 2, and none other nodes have more child, all the other nodes are leaf. So now what we would do is, we would now compare 8 with 1. So 8 is bigger than 1, so the root node is 1 and the child of 1 is 8 and 7. So which is bigger from 8 and 7? We know that 8 is bigger than 7. So now 8 would be swapped with 1. We would use the prolocate down function to bring 1 down and bring 8 up. Now how my heap would look like? 8, previously here was 1, 8, 7, now here would be 8, 1, 7 because 1 is swapped with 8. So 8, 1, 7, 4, 5, 6, 3 and 2. 1, 8, 1, 7, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2. Now my heap is looking like this. So here I can see that 1 is smaller than 4 and 5, and so this is not maintaining the heap property. Now what I would do is, I know that 4 and 5 both are the children nodes of 1, and which is the bigger than 4 and 5? 5 is bigger than 4, so 5 would be swapped with 1. So now my final heap, my end heap would look something like 8, 5, 7, 4, 1, 6, 3, 2. 8, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 4, 1, 6, 3, 2. The children of 8 are 5 and 7, the children of 5 are 4 and 1, the children of 7 are 6 and 3, the children of 4 is 2. So here I can see that heap property is maintained in all the order, that is in all the levels the heap property is maintained. So this is how heapify function works in creating the max heap. Now what is the time complexity of using the heapify function? The time complexity of using the heapify function is big O of n. It is big O of n because we are just inserting the elements. We are just comparing, swapping and then inserting, comparing, swapping and then inserting. So comparing and swapping takes constant time, and inserting takes big O of n times. Since there are n elements in the array, so inserting takes n time and the swapping takes constant time. So my new time complexity is big O of n. Previously, when we are first inserting all the array and then we are comparing and doing all the things, in that case it was taking n log n time. Now the time complexity has been reduced from n log n to big O of n. How we could visualize the total number of comparison? So the total number of comparison will be 1 into n by 4 plus 2 into 4 by 8 plus 3 into n by 16 plus h minus 1 into 1. So h is the height of the tree. So but what would be it equals to? It would be equal to n. So that's why the time complexity of heap is big O of n. I hope this is clear, and where h is the height of the heap. Now let us understand how we can initialize the empty heap. It is very simple. Empty heap is created by creating an empty array. Since heap is empty, we do not need to perform any heap operation. We are given an empty array, and and if we add, and if we don't add any element to the heap, so in that case the heap would also be empty. So empty array means empty heap, and in that case we don't have to perform any heapify operations. So I hope this point is also clear. Now let's talk about how we can add an element in the heap, that is enqueue operation. So what are the steps to add an element in the heap? What is the first step? First, we would add the new element in the end of the array. This gives the value as complete binary tree, but it might not be longer to be a heap, since the new element might have a value greater than its parent value or might have a value smaller than its parent. Now what we would do is, we would swap the new element with its parent until it has value greater than its parent value. And what would be the last step? We would, like, the step 2 would be terminated when the new element reaches the root, or when the new element's parent has a value greater than or equal to the new element's value. So let's take an example of like max heap. Suppose we are given an array. The elements of the arrays are as follows. That is the previous heap which we have created: 8, 5, 7, 4, 1, 6, 3, 2. 8, 5, 7, 4, 1, 6, 3, 2. Here the heapify max heap property is maintained. Now suppose we have given an element 9. So now I have to add 9 in the array. You can guess that 9 would be present at the top of the element, that is at the root of the root node, because 9 is the greatest. Now what would happen is, where would 9 be stored at the first? 8, 5, 7, 4, 1, 6, 3, 2. So now 9 would be the right child of 4. The left child of 4 was 2, now the 9 would be the right child of 4, and I know that 9 is greater than 4, so 9 would be swapped. Now 9 would be the parent and its child would be 4 and 2. Now what my heap would look like? My heap would look something like 8, 5, 7, 9, 1, 6, 3, 2, 4. Since 9 and 4 was 4 is swapped. Previously it was 8, 5, 7, the child of 5 was 4, now the child of 5 is 9. So now my heap would look like 8, 5, 7, 9, 1, 6, 3, 2, 4. Now I know that 9 is greater than 5 also. I would swap 9 with 5, but when 5 would come at below, we know that the 2 and 4 are smaller than 5. So here the heap property is maintained. Now I only need to check for 9. So now 9 and 5 would be swapped. Now how my heap would look like? My heap would look like, now my heap would look like 8, 9, 7, 5, 1, 6, 3, 2, 4. Now I know that 5 is bigger than 2 and 4, so the heap property is maintained. 9 is bigger than 5 and 1, heap property is maintained here also. 7 is bigger than 6 and 3, heap property is maintained. So this right part was already maintaining the heap property. Now I only need to compare it with the parenthood, that is 8. So now I would compare 9 with 8. 9 is bigger, so I would use again prolocate down operation to bring 8 down and bring 9 up. Now 9 is at the root, and this is my final answer, that is my final heap is now created. 9 would be at the top and its child would be 8, 7. The child of 8 would be 5 and 1, the child of 7 would be 6 and 3, and the child of 5 would be 2 and 4. Now how my final heap would look like? 9, 8, 7, 5, 1, 6, 3, 2, 4. In array how would it look? 9, 8, 7, 5, 1, 6, 3, 2, 4. So I hope this enqueue operation is clear. What we are doing here is, first we check if the heap is full. In case when heap is already full, then we create another array of twice capacity, copy the content of heap into it, then add the new element to the heap and use the prolocate up operation to restore heap property. What is the time complexity of this operation? The time complexity of this operation is big of log n. Why log n? Because we are just traversing once through the height, and what is the height of the heap? The height of the heap is log n. Why? Because we are just given a new node and we just need to move it to its appropriate position, and at the worst case the appropriate position would be at the root, and the distance from the leaf to a node is log n. I hope this makes sense and this is clear to you all. Now let's talk about dequeue operation, that is the remove operation. The dequeue operation is pretty much simple. There is not much complexities in the dequeue operation. Let's discuss its step. What are the steps required in the dequeue or the remove operation? First we would copy the value of the root of the heap to the variable that will be used to return the value. Now copy the last element of the heap to the node and reduce the size of heap by 1. Because we are deleting one node, so we would reduce the size of heap by 1. Now this statement is called the out of place element. The element which is the extra element which we are deleting is now called the out of place element. Restore heap property by swapping out of place element with its greater value child. Repeat this process until the out of place element reaches a leaf or it has a value that is greater than or equal to its children, and return the answer that was saved in step 1. So what we are basically doing here is we are creating a new array, the length of which would be -1 from the original heap, and we would copy all the elements except the root element. Since the root element is the bigger element, we would bring the root element down until it reaches the leaf position, and when it reaches the leaf position, we would delete that element and we would return the value. So I hope this makes sense and this is clear. First we would bring the root element to the down to the leaf node, and then I would simply remove that node from the leaf. Why I can't directly delete from the node? If I am directly deleting from the root, then nothing would be, then the heap property would be like devastated. I don't know what the correct pronunciation of the word. I don't know. So I hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. So yeah, there would be nothing pointing to the rest of the heap. So rest of the heap would be destroyed. Destroyed would be a simpler word, but this is not exactly the word which I was trying to say right now. Now I would simply remove the leaf element. Now in my case, my heap is looking like 987 5163 24. Now I want to bring 9 to the leaf and 4 to the top. So I would just swap, and 4 would be at the down and 9 would be at the top, like I have been doing in the previous case. Now what my final heap is looking like after swapping, my final heap would look like 857 41 63 2. 9 is removed. 9 I brought 9 down, like 9 would be compared to its children, and it was swap, then compare, swap, then compare, swap, and at the end 9 would be at the lowermost point. And now my heap would look like 847 51 63 2. Now my heap is complete. Now the delete operation is also complete. So what happened here is, the value at the top of the heap is swapped with the value at end of the heap array. Size of the heap is reduced by 1 and prolonged down is called the restore heap property. What would be the time complexity? The time complexity would be same as the inch operation, that is insert operation. It is big O of log n. Since at the worst case we need to bring it to the delete the root node. See, in deleting, it is not necessary that we need to delete from the root. We may have to delete from any node, like we need to delete any node. So we would bring down and remove that node. In the worst case, if we have to delete from the root node, then I have to traverse to log n time, that is the height of the heap. So that's why the time complexity of this would be big O of log n. Now let's move forward. Now there is a topic called heap sort. Heap sort is very useful sorting algorithm, and it's very necessary to understand how heap sort works. So I would try my best to explain you, but I won't take an example in this because it's very big and I need to draw a lot of trees, and it's really difficult to visualize you the whole heap sort. If you want to really know how heap sort works, I would recommend you to go and watch the videos of Abdul Bari sir or Gatesmaster's video if you are Hindi speaker, or else you could simply read from any book. In my case, I would prefer a DSA Java book by Hemant Jain sir. He has done a wonderful job in explaining all the algorithms, or you can see it from anywhere where you can find it useful. After all, your end goal should be to learn the concepts and to learn the thing, to understand what's exactly happening. It doesn't matter from where you are learning. All the resources, all the authors have done a great job. So yeah, let's understand how heap sort works. What are the steps of heap sort? The first step of heap sort is use create heap function to build a max heap from the given list of elements. This operation will take big O of n time. So suppose we are given an array, the list of elements. Array or the list is in Python, and array is in Java and other languages. Array is in Java and C++. It's vector, so you can understand whichever language you are using, you can understand on the basis of that language. So first we would create a heap, and creating the heap will take big O of n time complete. Now what we would do is dequeue the max value from the heap and store its value to the end of the array located at array of size -1, that is at the end of the array. Now in the sub part, what we would do is copy the value at the root of the heap to the end of the array, and after that copy the last element of the heap to the root, and then reduce the size of heap by 1. This element is called the out of place element, that is the element which is at the end, at the end element. The end element is called the out of place element, which I have brought it to the end. Now restore heap property by swapping the out of place element with its greater value child. Repeat this process until the out of place element reaches a leaf, or it has a value that is greater than or equal to all its children. This was the second step. Now what is the third step? In the third step, we would repeat the second step, that is repeat this operation, that is the second step which we have discussed just now, until there is just one element in the heap. Let's take an example of the heap that we have already created in the start of the chapter. Heap sort is an algorithm starts by creating a heap of the given list, which is done in linear time. Then at each step, head of the leaf is swapped with the end of the heap, and the heap size is reduced by 1. Then prolonged down is used to restore the heap property. Moreover, the same is done multiple times until the heap contain just one element. So what we are trying to do here is we would simply delete all the elements of the heap, and when there is only one element and one element present, then that element is the smallest element. I know, since because in the delete operation what we are doing is first we are removing the node, and likewise we are deleting all the elements. As I have discussed in the delete operation, I will delete all the elements, and then when the only one element is present, then I know that this would be the root, since this is the smallest element, and then I would one by one insert all the elements in the heap. Then the heap would be sorted. I would get a sorted heap. Suppose take an example. The heap is like 6. The child of 6 are 5 and 3, and the child of 5 are 4 and 1, and the child of 3 is 2. Now after sorting, after applying the heap sort, how it would look like? Now let's discuss about its worst case time complexity, best case time complexity, average case time complexity, and space complexity. The space complexity is constant since we are not making any using any extra space. All the time complexity is big of n log n. The worst case, best case, average case, and so basically the three cases, worst case, best case, and average case, all are big of n log n, because whenever I am giving a heap, I would need to traverse through the whole heap and compare each element. Then only we can use the heap sort method. So it will take big of n log n time complexity. Build heap of the input array takes big of n time, and each element removal. And so now I am reading the definition. I have just explained you in my simple terms. Now I am reading the exact definition. Build heap of the input array takes big of n time, and each element removal and adding to the end of the heap takes big of log n time. So the total time complexity would be big of n plus big of n log n. So what would the final time complexity? Since big of n log n is greater than big of n, so that final time complexity of this sorting algorithm is big of n log n. We should note one thing, that heap sort is not a stable sorting algorithm, and it does not require any extra space for sorting an array. So what is stable sorting algorithm? I have already discussed in my previous videos. If you have not watched that video, then I would discuss it here again. Suppose we are given an array. In that array we have two 5s, that is 1, 2, 5, 8, 7, 6, 5, and the previous 5 is red and the later 5 is blue. Now after swapping, since the value of both the red and blue 5 are same, so I can place it in either way. It doesn't matter. But in stable sorting algorithm, the red 5 would always be before the blue 5, and in the unstable sorting algorithm, the blue 5 would come before the red 5. And suppose there are red, blue, green, so in stable sorting algorithm, always the red 5 would be before blue 5, and the green 5 would be after blue 5. That is, red and blue, both the 5s would be before the green 5. So I hope this was clear. And in unstable sorting algorithm, it doesn't matter. You can it can be in any order, like red and blue green, or green blue red, or red green blue. It would be in any order. So that's why heap is not a sorting algorithm, and it is not preferred as the best sorting algorithm. The best sorting algorithm preferred is quicksort, and it also depends on various cases. It depends on the question which your interviewer is asking to you. If your interviewer is giving a very specific case, so in that case, the interviewer is giving you merge sort, or bucket sort or constant sort could be the best sorting algorithm. But in general case, we take quicksort as the best sorting algorithm. I hope this is clear. Now let's talk about some uses of heap. What are the uses of heap? First, heap sort. Second, selection algorithm. Third, priority queue. Fourth, graph algorithms. Now let's discuss these in little bit more detail. So what is heap sort? Heap sort is one of the best sorting methods used in place sorting algorithms. What is in place sorting algorithm? In place sorting algorithm basically means it is not requiring any extra space. So since heap is not requiring any extra space, it becomes one of the best sorting algorithms, and it takes log n time complexity in all the scenarios. So n log n time complexity in all the scenarios. Other sorting algorithms have different time complexities in different scenarios, but heap sort has log n time complexity in all the scenarios. Now what is the second use of heap? Selection algorithms. Finding the min element, max element, both minimum and maximum element, or medium, or even the kth largest element can be done in linear time of an constant time using heap. Why? I have already discussed it previously in the videos, and if you haven't understood that, just leave me a comment. I would make a big more video in it, or I would write an article, or in any way I would just try to help you. So you just need to comment if you are watching this video. Now let's come to our third point, that is priority queue. Heap implemented priority queue as used in graph algorithms like Prim's algorithm and Dijkstra's algorithm. I would make proper different videos in both these algorithms, that is Prim's algorithm and Dijkstra's algorithm. These algorithms are very simple to understand, very simple to visualize, but at the same time these algorithms are very important and mostly asked in various interviews and in exams. So yeah, a heap is useful data structure when you need to remove the objects with the highest or lowest priority scheduler timers. Now, graph algorithms. By using heap as internal traversal data structure, runtime would be reduced by polynomial order. Example of such problems are Prim's minimal. Prim's minimal is another topic which I would not be discussing in this video. I would make a different video for that. Now, we need to know that because of the lack of pointers, the operations are faster than a binary tree. In addition, some more complicated heaps such as binomial can be merged efficiently, which is not easy to do for a binary tree. So basically, I have just right now I have just told that why heap is preferred than binary tree. Now there are some problems based on heap which I won't be covering in this video because this video is already long, and since I have been already telling that I won't take any problems and I won't discuss any problems in the video, because discussing problems we need to visualize a lot of things and need to explain a lot of things which is not possible. Discussing problems also needs to show you the exact code, which is still not possible for me because I am just recording the video and setting the camera. I just played the camera and sat in front of it and just recording the video. So these things are not possible. If it was possible, then I could have helped you. And so that's all for today, and thank you if you have watched the video this far. It really makes me feel very, very happy. I have seen that I haven't shared the videos which I am recording anywhere in any socials or like literally anywhere, but still I have seen that in my one video got 55 views, and I was very amazed by the views that my video got, and some people also commented on my video. So these things feel like really very good to see. And also I got one subscriber. I don't know who subscribed and why he subscribed, because probably I won't be recording any videos after completing this 30-day challenge, or probably I will. Basically my idea is to record videos, but I think I won't get any time in my college so to record the videos, and in further videos the quality of videos would automatically be improved. The quality and the public speaking skills that I have gained through doing this challenge would be better if I record afterward. So yeah, let's keep up to this only for today. Thank you so much everyone. Bye bye, good night, have a good day, bye.